Well, Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen joins me now. Mr. Attorney General, let's talk TikTok, if you don't mind, because there's questions about how they're going to sell, if they're going to sell, despite the legislation. What happens if China decides not to sell? What happens to TikTok then?
Well, they'll be banned. Look,
how do you, let me just stop you there. Forgive me. Yeah. How do you do that? There are 175 million users in the United States. How do you ban them from using something that they care so much about?
Look, we figured out how to do it here in Montana. You can do terrestrial blockouts. I mean, it's possible. There are certain applications that are legal in one state, not legal in another state. Gambling, sports betting applications is the best example I've got. They're able to toggle off those sports betting applications in certain states, certain jurisdictions where they're not legal. They certainly can do this for the terrestrial U.S. I'm talking about Apple. I'm talking about Google. They need to be removed from the Apple Store and from the Google Play Store. That's how you do this.
But I was just talking to Lauren about this. Both sides, both Republicans and Democrats, of course, Democrats are open, really open about it, but both sides want to use TikTok in this election. You know that. I know that. Doesn't that mean there won't be a ban on TikTok until after the election, after the dust settles after the election?
I think very likely what we're going to see here, David, is TikTok is going to try to move some shells around, and they're going to try to put together a American company to own them, but it's still going to be largely controlled by ByteDance or by the CCP. That's what I'm concerned about. We've seen them pull that same sort of stunt in Canada with some mining corporations that they were forced to divest from. I think that's likely what we're going to see here. I think they're going to try to leg this out as long as they can, for sure.
Okay. I want to switch to the crisis at the border because you're leading a coalition of about 20 AGs against President Biden's move to abandon an immigration rule, which you claim could leave the border even wide open for years and years to come. Explain what you're doing.
Well, so what happened here, and this is quite common, but you had a group of activists, border activists, illegal immigration activists come in and sue the Biden administration over some policies on the southern border that ostensibly would have closed the southern border or made it more secure. And now you've got the Biden administration who, right away at the outset of this lawsuit has said, oh, hey, we've been sued. We want to settle with you folks. This is sue and settle. This is very common tactic. You've got friendly administration with friendly activists. The Biden administration is not actually interested in defending this law that would actually secure our southern border. So that's why you've got me and 19 of my colleagues who've jumped in and say, well, now, hang on a minute. You're not just going to settle this case out of court without talking to anybody. We want to be involved here.
Well, because they're settling with our money. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Absolutely. They're using taxpayer money. But again, the real important takeaway here is this is a policy and laws that are in place to secure the southern border. Montana's being overrun by fentanyl. 1,700% increase in fentanyl overdose deaths, all coming from the southern border. And that's just in the last 4 years, David. This is a huge problem. The Biden administration doesn't seem to care about fentanyl and where it's all coming from. It's all Mexican.
We have to run, but I really wish you the very best. Such an important topic. I appreciate you being with us. Austin Knudsen, thank you very much.